Welcome everyone. Welcome to Call of Culture Roundtable. Thank you very much for joining the fourth roundtable. Today we're discussing the culture of music, which is very interesting things. We're going to talk about different aspects of music culture and culture influence on music. So I would like to welcome you all. I'll start with Pawsy, if you wish. Pawsy is a music artist, a philanthropist, and founder for Rhythm and Remedy. She also do a lot of hip hop music. I will not talk too much about you. I want you to take the floor and talk more about yourself after I introduce the other two fellows. Has, or Big Has, as people know, call him here in Saudi Arabia. He is a hip hop um, artist himself, and he's a host for and founder for the first hip hop show in radio in Saudi Arabia. That's so big. And finally, we got, how do you want me to call you? Lalia?
Lalia.
Lalia. Okay. Lalia is a vocalist, and she's also a co-founder for the White Tiger Society in New York. So I will give the floor for every one of you to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit what you do, and then we can take it from there.
Okay,
Awesome.
lady.
Do I start first?
Yeah,
Okay.
Pawsy, please.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Pawsy, and it's Pawsy like positive. I'm honored to be on the call today. A little more about what I do. I'm sitting here, if you're wondering who this guy is to the right of me, his name is NC Abram. He is the co-founder of the organization that Muhammad was speaking of, Rhythm and Remedy, where hip hop helps. We're basically both music artists. We're currently here in Dakar, Senegal, in West Africa. We just finished building our first music institution called the Heartbeat Project, and it was in dedication to Akon. And we actually had received a special visit from Akon, who was very honored and surprised at the work we had done. A lot of people thought that because we were dedicating the studio to him, that he had some type of monetary giving or anything to do with the studio. But we just wanted everyone to know that we did that all on our own. We raised funds. We had supporters like Speak Up Africa and other donors who donated to GoFundMe so that we could make this all possible. We want to basically utilize our voices to create monumental change, not just here in Africa, but globally. We're trying to use our fan base to basically do something different, and also provide other artists the opportunity to be able to utilize their voice for monumental change. A lot of people think that just because you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you can't do something big, and you can use creative talents to change the world, so that's basically what we're doing here. NC, do you want to add anything?
No, I'm actually very, very excited to be a part of this call. Rhythm and Remedy, it started by me and Pawsy. We met in New York City.
Right.
Big up to New York. But we're both, I'm from Los Angeles. Pawsy's from Philadelphia. And we started our organization in New York City, just trying to utilize our talents and our contacts just to perform a platform to give back. And we started with fundraisers, shoe drives, celebrity events, to launch us to come all the way out to Dakar, Senegal, with the leadership organization by the name of Get One Project, who Pawsy has toured with to Paris, Washington, D.C., all the way to Senegal. So we're very, very excited to be a part of this call and to link with other emerging talents and organizations and people who are doing great things around the world and see how we can kind of build and create change all together. So I'm very excited, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Yes.
Great. All right, D, go. Go ahead.
I'm also, if you don't mind, we got also Taylor. He's also a musician from New York. And we got also Dimitri, who's also a musician from Russia. So, and we got some audience who listen to us all over the world. Thank you for Volvo for this opportunity. We got people from the United Nations listening to us. If there's someone all over the world from the audience who is not signed in yet, you can sign in on the right top of the screen by your Facebook, or simply register with your email, and you can interact with the speakers and share your thoughts or perhaps ask questions.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll give back the floor to Big Has.
Yeah, no, go ahead, D. You know, ladies first. So I'll
all right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Lalia, and I'm a singer, songwriter, pianist, bass player. Originally born in France of a Tunisian father, Tunisian/Algerian father, actually. And you know, I played in Paris and in London for a few years with my music partner Benji Button, who's not here today. And then in 2012, we met with the great producer, Commissioner Gordon Williams, who produced Lauryn Hill, Damian Marley, the Marley family, Amy Winehouse's first album, who's a great, he's an awesome guy. And we decided to found the White Tiger Society together. And I believe this is not by chance that we're here today, because when I hear you, Posy, that's exactly what we're doing here. We want to, you know, bring some positivity in the world with uplifting lyrics, with interesting projects that we're doing with the kids also here. We want to change also what we see around us through music. And, you know, we'll talk about it later, but Gordon also has founded an organization called the Music Embassy, which is based on teaching, bringing culture and music to impoverished parts of the society, to the ghetto, to you know, kids who need you know, interesting stuff to carry on, basically. And we are now teaming up with people all around the world, like Mohammed, who's here, like you guys. We're about to start the Music Embassy program in Kenya, with people there, with bands. You know, so it's really exciting. It's awesome to see that like-minded spirits are in these times of trouble, you know. So just to say, so we have a first single coming out at the end of the month and a video. It's a single called Elevation, because it's time to elevate our souls, you know. And we hope that, you know, people will join the White Tiger Society, as we don't see each other as, you know, so much as individuals, but rather as an organization. And we want to team up with as many like-minded souls as, you know, possible on the planet, and you know, do good work.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay, I guess it's my turn, but man, listen, I feel like I'm not as creative and amazing as these ladies, and I'm sure shout out to Dimitri and Tyler. But basically, like I said in the beginning of the air, guys, I am a human being just that enjoys good, authentic art. I have a big passion when it comes to elevation through lyrics and music. I started a blog called Revolt Radio, and this blog was to revolt against anything mindless and stupid and mainstream at that time. And it was only, you know, musical, and it's still musical, but then I was focused only on one genre, which is hip hop. Why? Because hip hop is a genre that is sadly misrepresented by what the mass media is projecting out there. Everything that the mass media pushes to the people is about, you know, drugs, alcohol. It's about one subject. And hip hop, I mean, rap is rhythm and poetry. Hip hop is a way of life. Hip hop is a culture. Hip hop is an amazing thing. And we in the Arab world have a great hip hop movement. So I got into that, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna focus on hip hop. And I had to go through so much fight that maybe we'll go through it together. I launched Saudi's first and only hip hop radio show. You know, I wish I could rap. My organs rap, like my heart, it can rap. But if I rap, you guys will shut up the whole thing and just leave back home. I can't rap. I'm just like I'm a very passionate person when it comes to you know, of course, just voicing the truth. And again, just at the end of the day, I would like to say that, you know, hip hop for me is some sort of news, some sort of news telling, because these people that are on the ground, they're telling the truth. They are projecting the truth. It's nothing. It's not a politricks. It's not a game. It's real. And that's why I like it and I appreciate it. You know. And like I said, I love support local talent. I have this show supports as well local talent. I play talent from Saudi. I play talent from the Gulf, and I play talent from the Middle East. I play a lot of talent from Africa. So big up to Africa always. I mean, it's amazing that the amount of art that is available in Africa is huge. Sadly, that's the last thing I say. I promise you, Mohammed, that Africa is always synonym to poverty and you know, and all these things, but it's not. It is the richest continent in the world. Period.
Yes.
You know, and I've heard so many great hip hop artists saying the next hip hop artist that is gonna be big is gonna come from Africa or the Middle East. I asked him why. He said because there's so much oppression in these continents.
Yes.
Hip hop came out of oppression. So at the end of the day, this is what I do, and I'm looking forward to connect with you guys, not only behind this chat, but even afterwards. So I'm here.
Smart. You're so creative.
Oh man, I hope. Well, man, I try.
Let's start the show now. It is important to realize that music creates and shapes culture. I think everyone agrees on this, and the vice versa, that also the culture creates and shapes music. Okay, so and every one of us perhaps would agree that music is enjoyable everywhere. Okay, and it brings a lot of emotions. It brings us good memories, and it listening to music or to specific piece of music will bring us very good memories, or will let us somehow express ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, etc. So we want to talk because we have different people from different perhaps type of musics here. If you can give us what is the elevation, what happened, why hip hop was first introduced, why the pop music was introduced. If you can give us an insight, and I will also contribute. I don't want to make this more of question and answer. Rather, I want to make it a discussion. So we just want to talk what happened in the world. So the music was actually started. What global issues happened? So the music industry was evolving. There's new kind of music coming every now and then. Let's start with the First World War. Ooh.
Okay.
Does anyone have insights here?
You mean? Yeah, go ahead.
Can you rephrase the question, please?
Is there a baby on here?
Not
okay.
here.
All right. Let us shed some light on the historical events happened in the world, and what is the impact happened in the music industry, in the music culture after this event. And if you wish, I chosen the world first word, but you can choose whatever.
Okay. All right, man. I mean, listen, and I would go first if you don't mind, ladies. In the Middle East, there was this so-called, Arab Spring and revolutions happening, and there was a lot of things going on. Music was a big part of these youth and what they had to say. A lot of music came out of Egypt. A lot of music is coming out of Syria. A lot of music is coming, of course, out of Palestine. And on this notion, shout out to Palestine. Inshallah, we'll see you free soon. And all the other continents or even countries that were oppressed. So I would add to what you said, Mohammed, as well, that music is that tool to create change. And I believe anybody from the listeners, whoever is watching or in the world, that believes that music cannot create that change is very naive, if I can say. Because believe me, music can. Because, I talk to people all the time. They tell me, oh, you think a hip hop track can change the world? You think this can? Yes, because it all starts with connecting. It all starts with building. It all starts with that positive vibe. Like, this is the first time I see you. But because you do hip hop and you're from New York, where hip hop started and everything is like cool, we already have that, vibe. It's there. The connection is there,
Right.
and that is alone a powerful thing that maybe no other thing other than music can create.
Right.
It's the love for music, love for creating, all these things. So I would say music played a big role in revolutions and will always play in always discussing social community issues. People always ask me, you created a blog called Revolt, and what, you're revolting all the time? No, I mean, I'm revolting against the mindless things that are pushed upon us. I hate how the mainstream media spoon feed us entertainment. Like the top 10 is the same top 10 people. Why? I mean, there's so many artists out there, you know, and it's for us to choose. I just don't like to be force-fed entertainment always. And I think this power can create change. It can create positivity, which we really need, like you said, which we really need in this world big time. If you can see the news, everything is so negative, whether it's here or there or over there, everything is about negativity. You open the news, you know, it's really dull, and it's becoming a little bit, for me, I call it poly-tricks. It's not politics. It's a game. And sadly that everybody is, you know, sometimes buys the lies that goes on TV, and it doesn't only happen in the West, it happens in with us too in the Arab world. So that's why music for me is some sort of news, especially if I connect with a hip hop artist from Jordan or Palestine. You see the lyrics, they rap in Arabic, and it's amazing for me. And you know, you can learn everything. I mean, a couple of hip hop artists from Palestine, they rap in Arabic, and you can see the way they rap. You can get the news from them, not even from the media. You can get it from them. So that is a huge change. And I would end by saying the only problem that we have is that we're not supported. And nobody wants to support it, because why? Because we are the truth. We project the truth, and people are afraid of that. People want us to still to be dumbed down. People want us to always think about comedy and football and blah 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 blah. No, focus and wake up and elevate. And that is the whole why I created Revolt, because it's music liberation. You liberate your soul through music and passion, of course. So yeah, I mean, I'm a radio host, guys. I can talk all day.
I would like he's just doing the show right now all over the world.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would love to hear from you. You know, and of course, the Senegal.
Yeah, I guess I'll just add on to that and kind of just ride the bandwagon of what Big Hass was saying in terms of people utilizing hip hop to create greater change. One of the reasons why we have our first Black president is because of the hip hop culture. So people really don't realize the responsibility and the importance that comes with having such a powerful voice. And I actually hold a lot of the artists that are out right now accountable for why hip hop is how it is. And I think that that's where the challenge comes. It's from these underground artists. And I don't like to necessarily think of myself as an underground artist. I like to think of myself as an undiscovered artist. I know that I have the ability to be mainstream, so does NC. And the reason why I say this is because we're performing here in Africa where people don't even speak English, and we're performing in front of thousands of people. I've never even performed for thousands in Philly, and that's where I'm from, you know? So it just goes to show how much power we have, and it's up to us to utilize that power in a great way, you know?
Send me a couple of your tracks. I would love to play it on the show.
Most definitely. We'll send you one. Most definitely.
Why society?
I'm telling you, man, this Call a Culture meeting is not stopping here. Of course, salute to everybody tuning in, but it's not stopping here. We are more powerful than that. For sure.
It's the beginning. I agree with you, brother. What I believe that unfortunately, you know, the majority of people are fed a lot of negativity, and at the same time, you know, it's like people have, you know, jobs 9 to 5s, and they basically get what they're given. So what we realize now is that you know, all over the planet, people want positivity. People do want change, but now the issue is that where can they find the artists that are going to bring? Because it's true that, you know, the mass media and then, you know, most of the media are not necessarily giving people, you know, the opportunity to discover these. Yes, exactly. So
I would add to that, D. It's an amazing point, because for real, every time I talk about this to people, they tell me, hey, you know, I work 9 to 5. I'm busy. I don't want to listen to music that elevates and revolts against blah, blah. But I mean, you know, there is a certain time to have fun. Put your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. And then there's a certain time where you can actually, you know what? Let me just think about what's happening to the world. And, you know, and I agree with you 100,000%, D, because what you're saying is right on point. I think the people themselves, they're the fact that they're fed up I think every country in the world is fed up with their news, but that's what is there, so they take it.
Yeah, they take it, and also, you know, as artists, it's also our responsibility to bring them something that is, you know, that is, I would say, easy or accessible, because the thing sometimes with hip hop is there's a lot of lyrics, you know, and it's not so much of a sing along. But, you know, people like Lauryn Hill, people like, you know, Bob Marley, even though he was not per se a rap artist, but you could say that he was, you know, he was a rap artist because really he was, you know, he was talking to everybody. And I believe as a songwriter, then, and it's also the benefit of having met Gordon Williams, who's an amazing producer, that he helped me, you know, look at my lyrics and write, maybe use fewer words, you know, like make my melodies accessible to everybody, and not try to show the world I'm such a good writer. I'm so literate. I can write 5 verses in a song, you know, but right. Instead of that, write a song that is going to be so positive with not a lot of words, that everybody can sing along, from the grandmother to the 5-year-old child, just like Bob Marley did, and try and unite people with positivity. And at the same time, I would say the song can be elevating and can be sing along and dance along too.
You know, I agree 100%. And I see a comment here. Shout out to Dimitri. He's saying sometimes people need a negative in music. It's normal. I agree 100% with that, because sometimes, you know, you reflect the truth. The truth is not always positive and dandy and rainbow. Sometimes the truth is negative. Right. What I'm just talking about is that it seems that, to me, especially for entertainment, especially in music, I mean, if you look at the youth right now, and that's what you said, D, I like that, because right now you got to dig for music. If you go on the billboards and the MTVs, you're gonna find the same top 10 artists. Bye. The radio stations all over the world till now play the same top 10 music, and with no disrespect to these artists, whether it's Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, and all these amazing artists, but I'm looking for balance it up, you know. Let me choose. Do not just give me one sector and tell me this is everything we have. You know, I made a research when I first started Revolt that Billboard releases something like 250 songs per week. Only 6 of these songs gets added to the average radio playlist. Imagine, we are missing 230 songs. Now, yes, maybe 80% could be really crappy and really bad, but that's not up to the record labels and radio station to decide. That's up to us to decide whether it's good or bad. You know,
you know, I believe the landscape is changing. It's like now you do have the mainstream media, but we also have us. And you know what is happening today with this chat is also a reflection of what's happening all over the planet, where we are powerful when we team up together. Right. So now we're on the planet. What we have to do, I believe, is to team up, to share one another, to build together, to just like you say, Pazzi, to organize workshops. That's what we're gonna do with the Music Embassy all over the world, in Jordan, in Saudi, in Kenya, in America, in London. We are teaming up with people like us.
In Saudi, Mo, let's bring these guys here, man. Come on.
Yeah, we're numerous. We are powerful, and we can change the world if we team up. Isolated, we will not do it, but we got to be together. If we team up together, everybody will benefit from that, because we help each other.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you. And there is a very, very nice project online on Twitter. If you check your Twitter, 1 million. It's a project where they're trying to team up 1 million musicians all together from all over the world to sing together. That's a very brilliant project. I can see, for some reason, all of you, I didn't plan this, okay? I didn't plan that you all are hip hop artists for some reason. I didn't plan this. It just came all coincidence, and shout out to hip hop musicians.
Hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah. But you know, of course, hip hop was kind of art to express, you know, whatever social or economical pressures. But however, jazz also blue kind of music were also innovated because of depression, economic depression. Pop music was also as a kind of a luxury to take on next after the industrial revolution, people need to have more fun because they were into depression. So they need to move into next kind of entertainment. So they introduced the pop music. And again, for economical insights or economical effects, they want something to sell out. So they were going into the pop music. We got Taylor here, who's supposed to join us in few. He got a question. He got an insight. He said that true that music is powerful and hits individuals differently. That power just seems to fall in the wrong hands sometimes with the media.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Because
you are a media person.
Yeah. I mean, especially let's talk about, media in the Arab world. You can see what's happening right now. And because of the internet, because you have internet, now you have something called citizen journalism, where people can actually, portray the truth, what's happening on the ground and the reality of the ground. So I agree with Tyler. Tyler, is it? With T, okay? I agree with T that he was music is very powerful, and like you said, Mo, people sometimes judge hip hop because of what the mainstream is pushing, but at the same time, hip hop didn't come out of nowhere. It came from the jazz and soul and all these amazing, authentic, things. At the same time, you don't have to, dress a certain way to be hip hop, or you don't have to, move a certain way or say certain words to be hip hop. I mean, I'm wearing the Saudi national dress now. It's a thobe, and I am a big hip hop fan. I'm a fanatic of hip hop. I love hip hop as a culture. I love hip hop because it elevated my mind. 6 years ago, when I was sitting on my computer and I collided with a guy called Low Key, who is a Iraqi British MC. I mean, and then it led to Shadia Mansour from Palestine and all these amazing hip hop artists from Arabia and then from America. Yeah, just to tell you how powerful hip hop is, I'll give you a small story, like a 30-second story. I'm from Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, have connected with LL Cool J to it was his first interview ever on any Arab media. Imagine when I tweeted him. I don't know him. I said, "Yo, LL, I know you're releasing a new album. Is there a possibility for you to get on Saudi's first FM hip hop radio show?" A tweet, and he replied back saying, "Yes, I would love to." We connected, and he was on my show as the first time on any Arab media. Imagine. So This is how powerful hip hop is. I've connected with Russell Simmons to his first as well Arab FM radio show. So for me, it's just about staying positive. It's like Dee said, if you keep consistent and keep fighting, because there's a lot of negativity in the world. If you distract yourself, it's and it's not only hip hop. I don't think I think it's a coincidence from you more that all of us are into hip hop. But at the end of the day, it's music first, and before that, forget everything. We're human first before we become presidents, before we become Muslim, before we become kings. We're human first, and that is why we're having this dialogue. Nothing else.
I think it's important to also say that so I can read some comments on the right hand side. Some people asking if it's just about hip hop. I just want to say, like you just said, it's about positive music in general, like the way we describe our music with Gordon Williams and Benji, the White Tiger Society. The way I describe it as soul music with the spirit of reggae and a hip hop attitude. This is what we are. It's like we're bringing in my whole life. I played in ska bands, I played in rock bands, I played reggae. I studied as a jazz pianist and a classical music pianist, and then I taught myself the bass. And for me, there's only one music that I like. It's positive music. It's elevating music, and the hip hop attitude. I say that hip hop is great because going back to the original spirit of hip hop, like Gordon Williams, he started as a DJ for KRS-One, and he's down with Africa Bambaataa, the Zulu Nation, so he's part of the hip hop history. But it's producing the Marley Brothers, and he produced Amy Winehouse. Basically, I think, like you said, brother, music has it. The positive music is one and all. It's blues, jazz. Is when I go to Tunisia and I hear Arabic players, I hear the same Celtic players. You hear the spirit. The spirit is the same. Now, hip hop is good because it's a form that the original form. We all agree that now hip hop has kind of evolved and changed, and then we want to go back to that original form of expressing the street, expressing the poetry, the political, you know, what happens in the street. Like you said, Big Hass it's a voice. It's the voice of the people.
Right.
You know? But it can take different forms. You could have like the template of hip hop mixed with blues, with reggae, with, you know, with soul. It's one.
I want, if you don't mind, I just want to get out from the circle of talking about hip hop, because as you say, there's questions about if there's discussions only about hip hop, and we're talking here about music culture and how culture is affecting music generally. And then we go on to shape the discussion into what's happening in the world and what do you expect from music to respond, you know, because this is what important. This is what music is all about. It's kind of a reflection for your inner feelings and emotions. So we want to have a step in the right direction and make music speak out. Okay, so we just want to tell, perhaps, Posey, if you tell me more, what is your insight? How do you think that the music culture is formed up into an individual?
Okay, well, we'll both speak on that. I feel as though music in itself, like Dimitri, I think he was mentioning something about sometimes you need negativity to balance the positive. And I'll agree with that to an extent, only because everyone doesn't come from the same background. You know, some people grow up in poverty, some people are born into riches, but sometimes you really find that there's a thin line, because I know some people who are born into riches, but they can still relate to my music. You know, there's always something that people are going to find in your music that can relate to them and that can create a change for them to feel like, wow, this person is actually giving me a piece of who I am individually. So I feel like music, just as a culture in itself, allows people for them to find themselves and find their own voice through sometimes listening to other artists and gaining the courage to, you know, then become poets. And music is basically poetry over bass or over an 808. That's all it is. It's our story, and everyone has a story. You know, it's just some people tell it differently. Some people are authors, you know, so they publish books. Some people are artists, so they, you know, make CDs. But everyone has a story. So I feel like the thing that really ties everything in through music is because it's so universal. You don't have to be able to speak a language. And I'm finding this just from being able to tour globally, you know, and find people who don't speak any English, but they can come up to me and say, you know, like whatever language they're speaking, I can tell like I affected them in some way. And to me, that's the most powerful thing that someone can do, is to utilize that and try to create and inspire other people, not only just keep it to themselves, because it's all about inspiring the next person so we can continue to build leaders, you know?
Right. Go ahead, man.
That's very beautiful. And this is what the dynamic of music is about, you know? Not necessarily hip hop, not necessarily rock or jazz. It's about music as a culture. And that's why I believe this call of culture is so beautiful, is because music has created its own culture. Most people from different areas of the world, it's so easy to create differences, okay? And music has created this similarity in everybody, you know? That now we can become together as, whether it's a music artist, a radio host, or whether you're a foundation owner, whether you're a business or entrepreneur. I think we created this cultural similarity that now we all can, never mind the differences. Right. You know what I mean? Now we can all see how, even though your skin color is different, your style may be different, your religion may be different, we have found a similarity that blends us all.
That's it.
I think
that's it, man. Close it. He said it. Boom. That's it. I'm telling you. That's what we want to do. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely again. See, I support what he says, because it's true. And it's naive, again, I say it, for people to think that, you know, what can music do? You know, no, it can do a lot of things, especially music, you know. I mean, not only hip hop, and every certain music has its power, and I respect all genres of music, but maybe hip hop, because maybe it's a bit more lyrical and more like poetry in it. That's why it gets me
Yes.
flowing. But you know, I love classical music. I love you know, I love soul. I love jazz. I love a little bit of alternative rock. I mean, you know, you gotta give credit where credit is due. For me, it's a thing with authenticity. If you're copying some other people, you lost me. But if you're authentic, no matter what you're doing, and you're real about what you're saying, then you know it don't matter. I mean, you know better. But if you're real, you get me, and you get your song played on the radio
Something
too.
to add, Dalila?
Yeah, D.
Yeah, so yeah, well, what I really believe that, like the sister Puzzy was saying, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily need to speak the language, and it's true. I've toured around the world, and you know, I do speak a little Spanish, a little Arabic, a little French, English, you know, but I remember a big show in Mexico City where, you know, you assume people only speak Spanish, but I mean, just a couple of words between the songs to explain what the song is about, you know, the positivity, the love. I couldn't believe the reaction I got, you know, like dozens and dozens of fans coming to talk to me after the show. I believe people these days, just like the negative thing is going around, I believe people are relate to positive frequencies in the music, in the voice. The spirit speaks through the voice, in the vibrant, the vibes, the vibrations, the frequency. People feel it inside of them. So when they see, like you say, brother, when they feel the authenticity, the genuine spirit that just wants to do good and give love and make people feel better. Basically, they leave your show, they feel better, you know.
Right.
And yeah, we can talk about negative stuff because the world is about negative stuff too. But the bottom line is you want to make people unite, feel better, give them hope. You know, I would just add that when I remember myself when I was 16 or 17, you know, I had to go through hardship like all of us, like Puzzy was saying, whether you come from a poor family or a wealthy family, everybody goes through stuff during you know, the teenage years. You have to find yourself, and you look around you look at the news, the society. No matter where you come from, you can feel very lost. And I remember that what helped me during those hard years was artists like, you know, Bob Marley, James Brown, Public Enemy, KRS-One. You know, I couldn't name, you know, jazz artists, Miles Davis.
Man. Wait, pause.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the youth needs today.
What you're saying is 100% amazing and true. Just to add to what you say, I saw a tweet by Chuck D saying that I'm going to be in Beirut, in Lebanon, you know, like tomorrow.
Sure.
I saw that tweet. I booked a flight from Jeddah to Beirut, and guess what? We met, and we met.
Awesome.
When I came to the cafe where he's sitting. I said, "Hello, man. What's up, Chuck D?" He's like, "What's up, Big Huss?" He knew my name. I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
I mean, he's humble, he's powerful, and we had a very good connection. Chuck D. I mean, what? It was a dream. I mean, you know, and after a week after that, I met Odyssey, who's a Sudanese American producer, MC, one of my favorite as well. So again, it's just I mean, Chuck D. Chuck D. You know? Me. There's no comparison. Why would he be humble and just, you know, talk to me? We start talking about, you know, music. We start talking about radio. He had a conference in the university over there. He started connecting with the local rappers over there. It was just amazing. And then when you go to the Arab world and you see our Arab so-called pop artists, very hard to reach and acting like they own the world. This is the problem.
Well, you know, they have different motives. They have different motives, you know. But he says a lot. He says that no matter what happens in the mainstream media, we are powerful via the internet. It's a beautiful thing. We could connect. Where, you know, it's amazing. It's great.
I think I'm in the middle of hosts from all over the world. Not only you have.
This all happened because of you, man. You connected us. So, but on the contrary, I want to salute you again, man.
Yes.
I just want to give chance to Taylor to jump in. Yeah. So we want to talk a bit about because normally the culture is different norms and attitudes and thoughts of any certain community or an individual. So I want to address this last question, and perhaps we can find a room for Taylor to jump in. What do you think the music would change in a community culture or individual culture? I mean, I can see that every one of you guys got different culture kind of representation. I would say not the culture. We have something a lot in common, of course. But what is the representation that would the music add to one's life?
Does Tyler have to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you listen? Can you hear us, Tyler?
Taylor can hear us, but I want to give him this is the last question, and then one of you guys need to step down so I can bring Taylor on.
We'll step down and we'll let Tyler log on in our place. And before we go, we just want to say thank you so much. And to everyone listening, be sure to check out wherehiphophelps.org to get in touch with either myself, Pazzi, or NC. And we look forward to doing more calls like this. And thank you again, Mohammed. Thank you, Lila.
Thank you. Don't leave. Don't close it. I will just log you out, and Taylor can jump in, so you can still be there and listen to us and communicate through the chat. All right. Thank you very much, Fauzi. Thank you, guys.
Sister, I'm thinking she could maybe type.
Taylor, now you need to just click on Join Vonvo.
Yeah, Tyler, just click the Join Vonvo button. All right.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hi, Tyler.
I'm deeply sorry, man, but it's just sometimes you get. This is the first time perhaps you get overloaded list of speakers from around the world.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right,
though.
so if you want to start how answering the question how the music would change or add to someone's culture.
How music would change or add to someone's culture? Are you asking from a substantial place, like a particular place, or just like in general, anywhere?
In general, I mean, you just talk. I know sometimes I throw some intellectual questions, but you're an artist, so you got a lot of innovation and things to tell. So tell me.
Well, I know everybody else is different, but I really cherish like diversity and other people's ways of thinking music-wise, because I grew up in like 80s classic rock stuff. My dad's like a big hair guy, hair band, whatnot. But
Nice.
I was in Kenya for a month on a missions trip, and I really saw that it was like deep Kenya too. We were like 20 hours from Nairobi, living in huts and whatnot. And all the drums and just making music out of whatever they can find around the area was just amazing to me. And it doesn't matter what kind of music it is, you can always see the passion and see like the encouragement and the positives that it brings out of people. And when I saw that, it just blew my mind, and I was just addicted to finding different cultures and different musical cultures around the world. So I mean, with the internet now, we could see what's going on everywhere, and it's definitely changed me. Culture can change everyone. I think it's great to have diverse culture and diverse feeling of what everyone else is doing around the world. And that's why I'm very pleased to be here. So it definitely plays an impact, of course.
This is a very interesting story, but this would perhaps bring us to the biomusical mixes. That is, perhaps sometimes we find artists love to mix, perhaps from words perspective, from the vocal perspective, or from the art itself. So, and I have seen this because I think you were there here in Jeddah, where they got the biocultural music mixes between Europe and the Middle East. Would you tell us more about this? How we can mix cultures together through music in an innovative way? I know there's a lot of people that mixing it up, perhaps have some vocals or some words mixed up. But is there any way that you think perhaps hip hop as a hip hop artist or generally as a musician will change the world?
Well, first, I agree 100% with what is it Tyler?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Tyler, you can call me T too, like you did before.
T, yeah, I like the T.
That's
Okay, so Tyler, what he said is 100% right. I mean, when you speak about hip hop, I mean, just 2 years ago, one of the best German hip hop artists, his name is Max Era, came from Germany to Saudi Arabia, and he connected here with some local hip hop artists, and they made a track. You know, so this is Germany and Saudi Arabia connecting together through music, and
That's awesome.
and sometimes not even politics and can connect. So to answer your question, 100% yes, and especially when it comes to collaboration, and it doesn't have to be only hip hop. It can be a rocker with a hip hop artist, or you know, music is always you know, about fusion, and I love that. And it's on the contrary, I believe, in my opinion, in the Middle East we should have more collaborations. The thing what's happening right now, sadly, and again, I don't want to offend anybody, but like I told you in the beginning, I'm a voice of truth and real. Like, for example, what's happening right now is you have one of the pop artists, you know, paying money to Snoop Dogg to collaborate with them on a track that is not really elevating at all, zero. That is a sort of collaboration, but that will not bring the positivity that we want and the realness. I'm talking about the realness, you know. So when you pay an artist to collabo, that is just you know, it needs to come out of, you know, love and affection and just, you know, making something positive happen. But when you pay an artist to make a collaboration, that just makes me a bit, you know, I feel sick a little bit. Let me tell you that. You know, why would the top artist in Arabia, you know, collaborate with Snoop Dogg and just, you know, you know, the whole thing is about, it's not connecting U.S. and, for example, the Arab country. You know, I mean, but that, again, like I said, collaboration play a big role in making change happen, especially collaborations. I say that again, and it doesn't have to be only hip hop. I say that again. It could be rock, it could be soul, jazz, funk, you know, graffiti. You know, people forget about that too. I mean, hip hop has not only rap, it's DJing, it's the break dancing, it's the graffiti, it's the beatbox, it's the movement. And for me, the knowledge is another element of hip hop. The fact that it can, you know, elevate your mind. So all these things are, you know, amazing. Shout out to Rosalinda, who's still there. Hani F, salute to you. Dimitri, you know, I'm a radio host, so I like to salute everybody up.
Yeah. This is what he do every day.
Fuzzy,
Okay,
all right.
I will have to say, okay, to Lila, perhaps you would still give us more insights here. I know that, you know, you have some roots to Tunisia, so
Yes.
We can't stop it.
Yeah, no, that is my one and only, ladies and gentlemen. Please give her a big salute. That's my one and
Hi,
only. Hanan.
you're the queen. Hi.
Yeah, she is the queen. Yeah, I'll talk about her, but she's a big reason why I'm existing in this world in hip hop, because she's a big force. And shout out to all, hi Queen Huss. Shout out to all the women in the world, really.
Ciao.
Go ahead, Mo.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Lila, if you give us insight, you know, what's happening right now, the tragic event happened in France, and perhaps you have also a root in France as well. So would you tell us how music could play a very important role here to change the culture of accepting others' culture, to respect others' culture? What message as a musician you would tell the world?
Well, my message really is that, you know, in the light of what has just happened, what I see is that it is the temptation of dividing people is huge. You know, people are falling out over who is for, who is against, who is what. And, you know, what I want to say really is that, you know, it is very urgent that people stay united. You know, no matter what tragedy hits whoever, you know, in the world, and we see that every day. Unfortunately, every day tragedies hit everywhere in the world, you know, and nobody is spared by that. So what I have to say is really, you know, it's really it's kind of scary what's happening right now, because, you know, people are there's a trap for division. And as an artist, what my message is really, you know, let's stay united. Let's also respect people, because I would like really that the debate go on to, you know, freedom of speech and individual freedom in any given country in general, I really believe that freedom and freedom of speech should also come with respect to your co-citizens. And when you have children and then you teach them how to grow up and how to live in society with their fellow citizens, if they are blessed to be in a democracy, in a free country, it doesn't mean that you could basically insult or hurt or people around you. And I believe that everywhere in the world we should be able to be free to talk. That's a fact. And at the same time, it comes with a responsibility to respect people for their faith, for their beliefs. And I think that the debate should really be, it would be interesting to talk about that,
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. Taylor, you didn't speak a lot. Would you just allow me? I just have to do this very fast. Sorry. Okay, Taylor. The culture has also, if we talk about culture generally, there is a big aspect of fashion, and I know you also do sometimes music and modeling. So, how do you think the relationship between fashion representation through music, or music and fashion,
Well, it's definitely expression. I mean, here in New York, I'm from a small town in Pennsylvania, so coming to New York, being here for the past 2 years is like blowing my mind. I'm not very fashionably established yet. I still just wear, plain stuff and whatnot because I'm from a small town, but it's definitely expression. I love to express myself through music and sports. I'm just doing the modeling thing, just to try to get myself out there, never stop doing what you can do, especially in a networking city like this. But it's definitely expression. That's how I see how these two go together, and just vibes too. Different musicians, different bands, they'll wear something else just to put out a certain vibe to that certain crowd, just to get everybody in that state, just expression pretty much. That's what I can go with it. Very important. Everybody needs to express themselves,
Okay, Lily, I think you're the most fashionable here. So tell us how it's important for a musician, perhaps, who would sing specific culture piece from certain region, but would dress something absolutely from other part of the world. How do you see this?
As a woman and as an artist, I just want to say that I have been feeling a little sad about what the mainstream media and the videos have, how female singers are being portrayed in not only hip hop, in pop music in general, and in any kind of video that you see these days. It seems that as a female singer, you have to be wearing a bikini, even if you're miles away from the beach. So I mean, you want to show a female wearing a bikini, you're on the beach, that's fine. If you're in some sort of apartment with 50 guys wearing suits, why? What I'm saying is, you got to show. I really want to, there's millions of young girls out there in the world who look up to artists. And I think as an artist, it's a responsibility not only your lyrics, your lyrical content is a responsibility because you're giving what you're saying to millions of people around you. But also the way you dress, the way you carry yourself. Now, I think.
Okay, let's put this. Let's bring this important question. I was thinking to make a complete session about this specific question. Mm-hmm. How do you think the culture would be represented through music?
How do I think the culture?
Yeah, can be represented through music.
Wow.
The culture.
I know there's different ways, but what is the first thing would come to your mind? Just tell me. Now you're talking about hip hop. You're raising up the bar for hip hop artists all over the world, but you're dressing Saudi Arabian national dress. So tell me how this ties up together.
It's actually, I think you should do a session about that. I think it's very interesting. I would say, man, the scope is so big. See, again, especially in the Arab world, I say this with all due respect, of course, to all. Problem is the Western media does not really portray the Arab world the right way, and that's my opinion, of course. And I still see it. I still see it in news in the Western areas and stuff like that. So it's up to us to show the world what we can do. and they cannot ignore us forever. By us, I say they cannot ignore the authentic and good art coming out of here forever. Sometime it will break through and get there. With people like these guys, with people like D, with Posey, with of course with people like Tyler, Dimitri, and all these people like you, it will break. It will get there. We just need to keep doing it and stay focused and keep putting out the music, because it has to do with everything. I mean, it's like D said. I mean, right now what's happening in the world, like, look, okay, this is something that happened last week in France. Very tragic, very bad, of course, for everybody. But then that's why I call it politics, guys, because it's a game, and sadly, the only people who are getting affected are the victims for the Posey's funny. Yeah. I mean, it's a victim all over the world, and this is the issue, really. I mean, the victims are always are not the people maybe behind the chairs, are the people on the ground, and
Yes.
this is the issue. And I think as artists, and salute to you again, Miss D, you said amazing jewels today. Is that for me? But this is me as Hus. I believe that if you're an artist and you're not sharing anything positive with the world, then you're not doing your job. But that's just not only positive, something to make the youth something to elevate.
Yes.
You know, but if you're an artist just all the time, of course, express. Even I say this is very tricky, because I'm not talking about revolt music, put your guns or put your hands in the air and let's revolt again. No, I'm talking about good, passionate, soulful, real music. You know, this is your job as an artist to give the people not only a vibe, exactly, Mr. Hani. And Hani said something about DJing, and I would like to comment on that. For hip hop, DJing and scratching is a very important element of hip hop. Sadly, again, I say this, the mainstream media forget that. They forget that. They only focus on one element, which is the MC, which is rap. No, we have the breakdancers, we got the scratching, the DJing. Actually, when hip hop first started, it was like 2 records looping. There was no MC. Actually, there was an MC, but the MC was saying, "You guys are feeling all right? Put your hands in the air. Yeah, we'll make some noise." That's it. So the DJ is the backbone of everything. And of course, yeah. So again, man, I salute you again, man, for doing this. But again, man, you got to shut me up. I'm a radio host. I keep talking. So just come in and boom.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be as polite as I can.
No, don't.
Taylor, do you have something to add? I know you didn't get a lot of chance to talk, but if you have something to address, because I think we're getting to an end.
Oh, sorry, Tyler?
You talking to me, or are you talking to her?
Tyler? T?
Well, the thing about me is I'm just kind of getting started with my vibe. I kind of got caught up in covers as I was growing up. I've been playing for like 9 years. And I got caught up in covers. I'm just starting to find my genre, and I'm just kind of curious of what was that journey for you guys to find your style, to find your genre, to find your escape.
I was about to throw something about this. I'll come back to you in this in a minute. Lily? Oh, sorry, Leila.
Oh, Lalila.
Lalila. Lalila, Lola Bella. You guys have strange names. I mean, you're mixing up cultures very well to make up very nice names.
You can put Rose back on, and then I'd like to hear her side of that question too.
All right. So are we talking about genres and finding yourself?
Yeah, finding your style, finding yourself
it's
musically.
really interesting. You know, I first started. I grew up. My parents, my dad being Tunisian, my mother French, but I grew up with James Brown, Bob Marley, a lot of jazz, a lot of also Kulthum and Arabic, classical Arabic music. You know, Farid El Atrash. Yes, I grew up with that music, but mainly Afro-American and jazz and blues and soul. And then I went on to play classical piano and jazz. And then I taught myself the bass. When I taught myself the bass, age 17, I met a band from LA called Fishbone. These guys are like, you know, a fusion of rock, ska, a punk. You know, I played in rock bands. So I really explored all musical genres. And then I played a lot of ska and rock steady when I went to London. I played a lot of hip hop too in Paris, in London. Drum and bass was jungle music was one of my first loves in the 90s. You know, so I'm a music lover with a big M. And it took a bit of time for me. I didn't start as a songwriter. I wanted to live my life and have things to say It's just that after playing with so many bands and I didn't really like what the singers were saying, I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to write my own songs. But I had things to say, you know, I was very excited about things, about politics, about life, about, you know, relationships, you know, what happens in family, what happens between male and female. And Mohammed, you were saying earlier, you know, the dress code. I think also it's important that in the media, it's underrepresented the good relationship between male and female, between boys and girls. You know, lately the rap and the hip hop has shown, you know, a lot of degradation, a lot of mistreating female women, you know, showing women as sex objects. You know, I think we have to go back to something really, you know, give a good, you know, good things to the youth coming, you know. So to go back to the genre, it took me, you know, about 10 years to just play and then realize what my real essence was, you know. So I basically write on the piano. My inspiration comes a lot from Ray Charles, you know, that kind of like chord. My voice is very soulful and jazzful. And now what we do with Gordon is like a lot of hip hop beats. So you take Amy Winehouse, Lauryn Hill, you mix the two, and then, but you know, with my essence, my spirit, and my lyrical content. I talk a lot about relationships, about what I see around me, and I want to bring, you know, a better day to the planet Earth. You know, I have dreams, I have visions, and I saw a lot of despair on this planet, but I also saw immense goodness to come if we unite and we don't give in to the darkness. So we have to stay strong, but you know, there's going to be dark days ahead, but we have to stay strong and stay united, you know, and we're going to be all right.
20 seconds, Mo, 20 seconds, promise. I agree with what you said. And just to add to that, one of my favorite artists right now is a guy from Ghana. He's Ghanaian American. His name is Blitz the Ambassador. I really want you guys to check him out.
Yes, we're gonna collaborate with this brother. He's awesome.
Amazing. So Blitz, for me, you know, introduced me a lot to and educated me about Africa. Same as brother Kanan or Kanan as well. He blew up, I know, with the World Cup and Coca-Cola and stuff like that. I don't know, but he's from Somalia, and he was talking about things that's happening in Somalia. So again, going back to Africa, guys, it's great. Same thing in the Middle East.
Also, Tyler, you said you went to Nairobi. Did you meet with the guys called Just a Band? It's a great band from Nairobi. They were in New York just 2 days ago. We were about to start collaborating with them.
No, I never ran into them. I just drove through Nairobi. I was like 20 hours, for a missions trip off the
I have to address here a friend of mine called Johnny, and he is a very interesting musician as well. He's a world-class kayak athlete, but he also do a lot of music. He travels around the world. He's a New Yorker. He travels around the world and try to bring different pieces of music together. He's a flute player, and he bring different cultures. He's been to Africa, been to Europe. Right now he's in Europe trying to bring also, I think, fine kind of music piece together. I have to bring this to an end. We're almost an hour or something. I know, because you don't want to go home, I know, but I think you got a queen next to you, want to go out. However, I have to bring this up as well. Today is the official launching for the Action 2015 kind of wave by the United Nations, where they call youth to make action to social changes. So music might play a very important role here. This was declared last Monday by Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon. Call of Culture is trying also to bring global talents together, where we can advance and promote each other's culture, including respect and acceptance. Yes. So we're working also on kind of music pieces where we bring different diverse artists together, so they can play more or less like, you know, what you guys doing in Lalabella and the White Tiger Society. Thank you 1,000 times.
Thank you,
to all of you. Thank you, Queen, for being patient and listening to us. Thank you for everyone who's on the chat. This will be recorded. Thank you, Max. It's already recorded, and we'll be putting it on our YouTube. So you guys can have it and share it out with your
Mohammed, I just want to add something for the listeners all around the world, and for you, brothers and sisters. The single Elevation is now available on free streaming before the official release on January the 27th. So everybody can go online, whitetigersociety.com, and You guys are welcome to send us your feedback, and I hope that elevation is soon come for all of us. It's a good start, Mohammed. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Blessing to have to
Thank
be
you
here
very
today.
much.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Hey, this is
Listen,
small
man,
hat.
Right there.
This is small
that's
hat.
hut. Right here. Yeah. Salute to you guys. Again, Tyler,
All
man.
right,
Awesome
guys.
to meet
Thank
you.
you very
Let's
much. You have a good
Let's
day.
connect off air.
Thanks, everyone.
Mo, it would be great if you could send an email connecting us all together, man. That'd be really great.
Yes, please.
I'll definitely do. With
Yeah.
pleasure.
Peace and love.
We carry on
Thank you.
talking.
Bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stay connected. Bye. Peace.
Thanks, D. See you guys.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you.
Yep.